As the year comes to an end, taking a step back and caring for our mental health is more important than ever. You deserve it. Our WSFL TV trusted advisor, Chief Clinical Director for Agape Behavioral Healthcare, Stephanie Robilio, sat down with me to share how Agape is helping you make your mental health a top priority. Stephanie, every time we talk, as I said before, the information and what we receive is so valuable. And we live in a time now where we have that information at our fingertips about mental health, treatment for mental health, what to do, the language for it. But yet, people still aren't seeking it, even though they need to. Why aren't they?
I think it's because the stigma is still very much there. We are hardwired for connection. We have to be connected. And I think because the stigma still exists, that means fear is present. There's fear to show up and be vulnerable, to say, I'm depressed, I'm struggling, I need help, right? So we just float at the surface. We float at the surface, and instead of talking about that root issue, we're over here talking about the email that somebody sent 2 weeks ago, right? And the question is it really the email, or is there something deeper going on?
Why would people continue to suffer? Why would they choose suffering?
I believe it's because suffering is so familiar for so many of us.
Yes.
And it's crazy to say this, but even from my own personal experience, having once struggled with really, really bad depression and my own mental health, in suffering, we can predict what's next.
It's controllable.
So, you said it, it's control. It's control. To step into the unknown is the scariest thing a person can do. I'd rather stay over here in this pain, in this suffering, because I know what's next and I'm in control, so therefore I feel safe. But to step into the unknown where I have no idea what's on that side, I'm giving up everything. I'm exposed, it's vulnerable, it's scary. I'm not safe if I'm vulnerable. But I believe that's where the power of changing our beliefs around this is number one. We have to change the beliefs we have about mental health and about our own experience. And beyond that, we must begin to believe that we are worthy. We can show up and say, I'm struggling, and that doesn't take away our worth. The two can coexist at the same time.
People ended up in depression because they took a risk or something happened. Oprah says, don't ask why that person is the way they are, ask what happened to them. And so whatever tragic event happened has caused them to live in that shell 100%. Because it's safe, because being vulnerable exposed them to such great hurt, such great pain, right?
Yes.
But if we choose to just one day say, well, let me just see what's on the other side of that.
Right. And here's what I want to say about that. We always tell our clients, and I remind myself of this, even if you take that first step and you take the next and you take the next to go to the other side, if you get there and you don't like it, then go back to where you were. Yeah. That's the beauty of being your own person, is that you get to decide the direction of your day. You get to decide the direction of your life. Walk towards healing. And as you get closer, if you decide, I don't want to heal, turn around. Yeah. But I guarantee the more you get closer to healing, the more you're going to want to heal. But it's about knowing that you have the freedom to go back to where you came from if you want to go back to suffering. But nobody wants to suffer. That's not what we really want. It's our birthright to live a life of joy. We just don't know how to get there. But take that first step because, like you said, it's waiting. It's waiting.